If you are getting deja vu, you are not insane. This is a re-upload of a video that is from my old channel, and this is my new channel that I will now be posting my content on. Hey, hi, and hello, it's closing time, and today I'd like to talk about Nagito Komaeda, specifically his opinions on talent. There's a lot of nuance to his character, and I think understanding his stance on talent allows for a better understanding of him as a whole. Spoiler warning for some of the Danganronpa franchise if you need one, and without further ado, let's talk about one of my favorite aspects of Nagito Komaeda's writing, his nuance. Or at least a big part of it.
Claiming personality? Are you praising me?
Before we get started, to recap, Nagito Komaeda is the ultimate lucky student with supernatural luck. Nagito has experienced extreme good luck followed by extreme bad luck his whole life in an endless predictable cycle, causing horrible persistent tragedy and endless amounts of trauma. His bad luck targets others while his good luck targets himself. If there is nobody else for the bad luck to target, it targets himself. Because his talent is this luck that has taken everyone he's ever cared about away from him alongside other tragedies, he doesn't view it as a legitimate talent. In Nagito's own words, he views hope as absolute good and his luck as absolute power.
Thinking time ってやつだね。
Nagito Komaeda despises talent. I think what's so fascinating about this observation is that on the surface, this statement feels ridiculous. I mean, how could Mr. Pure Selfless Love for the Ultimates that wants nothing in return despise talent? Right? He rambles on about the hierarchy of their worlds, how he believes when you're born you're either given the magical ticket of talent or not, and if you don't have it, you will live on accepting or denying that fact until you die, so if you deny it, you're even worse than trash anyways. He expresses that that's why he has so much respect for the talented. They have that ticket, and with it they're so much more capable than those who automatically don't have it. He thinks the Ultimates are better than the quote-unquote scum like him, and he devotes himself to the Ultimates with this quote-unquote selfless love, wanting to be a stepping stone to amount to anything. He has already accepted his status in the hierarchy, and he wants to assist the talented in creating the pure hope he thinks only the Ultimates can create. He devotes himself so much to these beliefs, this hierarchy universally accepted and built from Hope's Peak's propaganda that hope equals talent. To him, it is objective fact. This only makes the fact that he's tricked himself into devotion to talent because it helps with his coping mechanism more upsetting.
No!
As the parallel to Makoto Naegi, Nagito Komaeda clings on to hope. But unfortunately for Nagito, too much of anything is a bad thing. So when he's dragged through the worst of it all, forced to cling on to anything to have any will to live, he clings on to hope too much. Falling for the ideals of Hope's Peak Academy that hope equals talent, this so-called selfless admiration and devotion for talent forms. He clings onto the hierarchy normalized by their society so he can justify his misery in his head. Nagito is a person who craves stability. His black and white views with talent, and by extension hope, provide a coping mechanism to give him a sense of purpose, a sense of stability, and a sense that his suffering isn't all meaningless. His quote-unquote admiration for talent is a lie he's created for himself that ties into his coping mechanism with hope, in which he now fully believes those lies. He feeds himself false hope as part of the coping mechanism as well. He's lied and tricked himself into devotion to talent because it's the only way he could find to keep himself alive. Leaving somebody with no choice but to indulge in the very thing that slowly becomes more problematic the more you indulge is tragic, to say the least. He was set up for his coping mechanism to become more unhealthy from the start, with no way to prevent it. He is a victim of this endless cycle of good and bad luck. Nagito Komaeda subconsciously hates talent. Danganronpa 2.5 is the most straightforward statement we get about his feelings towards talent, more so than any other appearance of his. In the OVA, we see a dreamlike reality built from Nagito's subconscious created as a defense mechanism due to the traumatic circumstances formed from his death. I do love how this concept is built upon from dialogue in Danganronpa 2 itself. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. I mean, the OVA itself is meant to answer the question of how Class 77B woke up from the Neo World program. Hajime Hinata, or I suppose Izuru Kamakura, modifies an alter ego to perform psychodives to eliminate the psychological instability caused by the class's trauma from their deaths. The world formed by one's subconscious are reflections of their own desires. In real life, Nagito has developed black and white views as a coping mechanism for safety and stability. However, in his subconscious reality, he doesn't need to ever start lying to himself because he already has that safety and stability. In the world of his desires, he never has to lie to himself, meaning he is completely honest with himself in the OVA, and in turn to the audience. Conveniently for us, this includes him directly and honestly telling us how he feels about talent in a reality his coping mechanism doesn't exist in. This only makes it more tragic when we see him go back to normal. back to the world that he did have to lie to himself in. There are many things that can be analyzed from the OVA, but for the sake of the conversation, I'll be focusing on his feelings on talent presented here.
Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
So, Nagito doesn't love talent, but rather he loves hope. He and everyone else in their world has been brainwashed into thinking and accepting that hope equals talent, and he actually subconsciously hates talent due to his own talent making him miserable. Right? Well, while these are both true and a part of it, Danganronpa 2.5 adds another reason to it that I really love. His hatred truly boils down to the messages within Danganronpa. The talented are put on such a high pedestal that nobody is happy, and the hierarchy in their world directly impacts everybody. People too high in the hierarchy, the ultimates, have struggles and huge amounts of pressure put on them, while people who are too low in the hierarchy, everyone else, have insecurities about their status and impact. Most everyone is not content with where they are in the world of Danganronpa, and the main difference compared to our world and theirs is that talent is put on such a bluntly higher pedestal. Nagito despises the side effects that come from talent being so important, and he despises that not everyone can find a modest amount of happiness. Also, he says this sentiment not once, not twice.
Hi, Editor Zen here. I did not think about this until way later, but, if you are listening to the video or, like, doing something else while watching the video, you might want to look at the screen for a few seconds for the next part. Okay, sorry, bye!
Yeah, I think the writers really want the audience to understand this. Alongside the sentiment he wishes everybody could find a modest amount of happiness, in his subconscious reality, his luck cycle is the opposite. In this dreamlike reality, instead of good luck targeting him and his bad luck targeting others, his bad luck targets himself and his good luck targets others. This is to show that he wishes others could have his good luck even if it's at his own expense, and that his luck is such a fundamental part of him that he can't imagine a reality without it. Nagito also subconsciously yearns for happiness for himself too, alongside everyone else, despite probably thinking he doesn't deserve it. When Hajime asks Nagito what would he do if he didn't have ultimate luck, he responds, "I guess I would probably be living a peaceful life. A boring, normal life with no hope or despair." Emphasis on a peaceful life. A peaceful life where everyone can find a modest amount of happiness. A life where he can go on not knowing of the concept of hope or falling for Hope Speaks propaganda. A world where he never had to start lying to himself. A world where his parents aren't gone. A world where he isn't slowly but surely dying. In the OVA, he seems maybe embarrassed by the dream created from his subconscious, feeling as if he doesn't agree because of his own lies that he believes. He even worries if anyone could see him like that, but despite this, he still can admit to himself that it wasn't a bad dream, and that's development. That's why the OVA is focused on Nagito. It isn't just to answer how Class 77B woke up, and it isn't just to add a little insight into Nagito's character, it adds subtle character development by showing him a display of what he truly feels.
I guess, happy graduation.
And this is where my small analysis video ends. Personally, I would call Nagito Komaeda a selfless character, one who does the wrong things for the right reasons and can be morally grey when his unhealthy coping mechanism with hope is involved. He is best described as a tragic antagonist and anti-hero, and is an extremely nuanced character. This was just my way of showing love to a lot of his nuance within his character, as well as trying to get out of my comfort zone in a comfortable way. Oh yeah, I haven't done a video like this before, by the way, so if you enjoyed it, it definitely means a lot to me. Whether you're a fan of Nagito and just wanted to see my opinions, somebody who desired insight on his character, or somebody who's just a consistent viewer going along with what I do, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video or maybe learned something new. Until next time, bye!
Danganronpa.